So Chris, this is the week where we will officially unveil the Stuart Broad End on the first day of the West Indies Test. What are your emotions towards that as president, and I guess more importantly as Stuart's father?
Yes, I'm delighted that the committee decided that Stuart should be remembered in a way that is similar to Jimmy Anderson at Old Trafford. To have an end named after him is just a complete delight. I must admit, the first game that I came to this season here, when it was announced that the bowler was going to be bowling from the Stuart Broad End, it was quite surreal, quite bizarre. I actually took a picture of the scorecard on the scoreboard there and sent it to Stuart, and he was quite a little bit emotional about it as well, seeing his name up on the scoreboard there. But no, it's a delight, and so proud and privileged to have been given that honour.
His retirement caught all of us a little bit by surprise, I think. Did it take you by surprise last year too?
Not really. He talked about an ending to his career, but we didn't really know when it was going to happen. And I think he was looking at the Ashes series as him playing maybe 2-3 matches, and in the end he played all the test matches of that particular summer. And he phoned us on the day or the morning prior to him announcing it that he was going to make the decision. So we knew it was coming, but we were sworn to secrecy, of course. So there were no leaks, and it was great the way he went out. I mean, I don't think he could have scripted it in any better way. So I'm sure at the start of this season, when people were rolling, although because it's been such a wet start to the season, he was probably thinking, no, I've made absolutely the right decision. But maybe one or two pangs of him not getting the bowling boots on and being out there. But I think he's made absolutely the right decision and is comfortable with it.
A lot of his finest moments for England have come here, and from that end of the ground, the 8 for 15, the hat-trick against India.
Yes.
What is it that you remember most fondly, I guess, from your time watching on as Stuart's career's unfolded?
Well, those two particular occasions, I was delighted that I was in the ground, because obviously with my role as a referee that is now no longer, I was, for all his overseas stuff, I was away in different countries, not able to view it. So the beauty of me being here at Trent Bridge for those two particular occasions lives long in the memory. And he continues to surprise in what he does, because he's just so adept at working on not only his playing stuff but now his media stuff, and he comes over really well in the media as well. So I'm delighted for him in the careers that he's chosen.
And I think as much as anything, he was always the ultimate competitor out there. Was that something that was apparent growing up as well?
Well, everyone tends to sort of link him with the emotion of being out on the field of play with me, because I showed a bit of emotion as well. It's the passion of playing a sport that you love playing and you want to succeed. It's not win at all costs, but when he gets the opportunity of trying to win, he will go hell for leather for it. So, yeah, no, it's a great thing that he shows that kind of desire and passion for the sport that he loves, and long may it continue.
Looking at the series we've got in front of us, the second test starting in just a couple of days' time, and we could have a couple of Nottinghamshire players in that lineup as well, Ben Duckett, Dillon, Pennington in the squad as well. You've played a test here at Trent Bridge. What did that mean to be striding down those steps in international?
I mean, it's home, isn't it? Whether you're playing for England or not, you're walking through the same membership out onto the field of play. Of course, there's a slight difference in that the build-up to the game is bigger, and the crowds are generally larger as well. But it's still going out onto the pitch that you know really well against a bowling attack that, in my case, I knew pretty well, because most of the bowlers in the West Indies in those days had played county cricket. So you knew what you were expecting, except that, 4 of them all together was slightly different than just facing one overseas player for Somerset or Hampshire or whoever they were playing for at the time. But it was it was a memorable occasion, and I think I got some runs second innings, so yeah, I was okay. It was okay.
Yeah, and as you touch on there, some bowling attack you had to face to make those runs too.
Yeah, well, at the time, they had a plethora of fast bowlers coming from the islands of the Caribbean, and possibly the best of them that I've ever faced was Malcolm Marshall, who was small in stature but absolutely enormous on the field of play with his control and pace and abilities to be aggressive and get wickets at the drop of a hat. So it's sad that he's no longer with us, but what a tremendous bowler he was in his time in English conditions.
And looking again to this week's game, what would make a successful test for you if we're sat here this time next week after
getting into day 4? I think, as far, with my Notts hat on, my president's hat on, getting into day 4 would be a result. Listen, another England win would be ideal, and performances from all the boys in the team, whether they be batters or bowlers. I like the look of the England setup. I know James Anderson is no longer part of the setup now, and we're moving on to the younger generation, but it would be nice to see Ben and Dillon, if he gets selected, play in and play to a level that they've been playing for Notts. So that would be fantastic. And obviously an England win at the end of it would be brilliant.